So I have a new message strictly that's going to hit media deeply. I just did my own little paragraph. I'm going to read it to you. In the beginning of Adam and Eve, they was created after Satan was already on earth. It was created when Satan was already on earth. But in the beginning, it was just God, and God created this, and Satan thought he would just be the only one to be loved. But then when he saw God create his children, Satan became temptation by tempting Eve, and Eve tempted Adam to make them fear God. And Satan rubbed his sins on his creation. Satan pretends to play God to take over his life. And the way the rules say it's choose a kingdom. Choose. Okay, so Satan's kingdom is on earth. God's kingdom is in heaven. And all the stories that equaled hell was friends with heaven, something went on between them. Satan didn't like it, got jealous of his creation. And when he plays God, this is how you know. When you see him play God and he threatens you with your blessings, that's not God. That's not God. When you see God on media and you feel that your heart feels pure and light and at home, that's God. And when he tells you you win and he ain't changing a thing, you're going to get your blessings. Just be careful of what you do and be wise with your choices and who you follow. Because right now it shows Satan likes to speak negative and threaten people with things. In media, in dream, and in voice, and in nature. That's his vision, to devour God's life and his people. Satan shows signs of the end that kills God's children, but first uses them as slaves to work, but shows scary messages and tells lies about God. Satan is blaming God for what he's doing out of jealousy and envy, wrath and sloth and lust and pride and fear. And Satan shows, once he gets everybody to fear, once he gets his creation to fear and to serve him, which weakens and takes their energy and lies and says God is not coming for you, but God is coming regardless. So Satan lied out of jealousy of God's creation because he thought he would be the only. But no matter what, God begged him to come back, showed him love. God is positive, gives you a peaceful feeling in dream and voice and in nature and vision. He saves his people. He saves, he loves, doesn't want no one in his creation to perish. because of flesh and lies. He teaches people good, and he don't want his children working like slaves, but make sure they put their trust in their king to take care of them without having to do anything. Satan, what God wants to do is Satan had God's humanity build cities and depart God's people. To go against war, to go against each other, to go against God. You know, he misleads. He misleads everything, and he's looking to destroy us and God. But God plans to destroy Satan and his kingdom that he built on God's turf without his people fearing him and knowing that they're safe no matter what they're in the mix of. Why Satan tries so hard to fight for your souls, to damn you, work you, make you out to be the bad guy like he did God. Make you guilty, punish you on purpose, take advantage, manipulate. Because if God's not so easy to manipulate, and as well as a newborn is easy to manipulate, Satan goes for the weakest, not the strongest. He fears the strongest and bullies the weakest. And his judgment is he will die and perish like he never existed. He left out the truth of what's really going to happen and what God is really going to do. And God is hurting because he hates seeing his people go to war and think of him so poorly and help the ground use him. Kingdom against kingdom, nation against nation. So the kingdom we're in, all those movies making it look like they were going to get killed it is true. But you can't be touched physically when it comes to having faith and belief. So if he can't touch you physically, he'll try to kill you in your dreams with negative visions and dreams. If he can't devour you in reality, he's going to devour you in your sleep. Think about how many people died in their sleep. I had a dream that I drowned in water and he tried to kill me. He tried to drown me. Literally, in my sleep. He's trying to get God's creation to turn against God so they become weak. So he can eat and devour. Satan is a cold-blooded killer. And being that he was a snake, serpent, imagine when he does this, he's manipulating to make his people weak. He's making them work like slaves, threatening them that this is going to happen, scaring them with their own loved ones, turning their people against them. You know what God showed me? When I was born, he knew me before my mother's womb. He knew me when I was in my mother's womb. But when I was born into sin, I was manipulated. God never meant for this. And God never planted the forbidden tree. Satan did. Satan planted a trap to make it look like it was God's doing. because of jealousy and envy. But Satan feared God because Satan saw his judgment and his end. And for God's children, their end is not yet, it's the beginning. For Satan, he's done. And when I look at most of the videos, most of them point out negative of how Jesus is going to come as a scary, fire-eye, big beast. But in my dream, he came regular, normal, and peaceful. And on one of the medias, it showed the same thing. He's not, God and Jesus is not what this ground makes them to be. This ground is the left, is the lie. This ground is a liar. And the one who's serving Satan is Donald Trump. I saw it all. God is right. He's always right. He created it. He created earth. He created heaven. He created Satan. He created. He knows what's best. He sees what everybody cannot see. He knows how to lead his people into righteousness and to walk so they can live in harmony with obedience and peace. So you guys fear a ground that can't touch you physically, that makes him be the bad big beast, when he knew he wanted to be God. So he knew God's power. He knew what God knew. He saw what God saw. He tried to use God's own life against him. Basically, he's trying to get God to turn against himself. He's mad. And what I saw, they're not going to war in physical. They're going to war in spiritual. They're fighting over souls. God is fighting to save souls, while Satan is fighting to devour and destroy. That's what happens when you're the number one food trade of somebody you listen to. Anywho, so basically it says Satan just creates death and judgment and plays God and tempts people into doing wrong, into fearing, into how envy and jealousy and doing this. And if you do this, this will happen. If you do this, this will happen. You get this, you get that. I promise. But really, his promises are fleeting. And they're a lie and manipulation to trap you, to devour. Like God saves and is looking to restore the earth and his humans without them dying, and getting it back the way he had it, the way he showed me. So basically, God's trying to save his people and his kingdom, while Satan is trying to, all the movies about the kings going to war. Oh my God. Wow. Those movies prove Bible and reality put together, but differently, not cut out how I thought it would be. Let's be honest here. Satan, you will never be God. I might have had something there. Sorry. Some type of snack. Go. Anyhow. It was beautiful. It was like the peppery cheese. My bad. Anywho. Satan. You're the reason why God's life is going to hell. You're the reason why people are dying and not getting the help they received. You're the manipulation who deceives. God is the description of a creator who's always right. I just don't get I don't get your life, bro. And this is why I never liked The Sins. His people are innocent, and you're making them out to be something they're not. And while you're doing that, you're manipulating them to turn their back against God and making them think differently. God is the reason why we're struggling when it's actually you. God is not the reason why his people are struggling. You know why his people are struggling? Because they chose to believe the kingdom on earth that Satan built. Instead of believing. So when you start believing more of this, you're helping Satan take away God's kingdom and destroying it. In BTW, you want to know how you're slaves? When you choose to work for money. So he's making you work for money so he could drag your energy, make you tired, make you weak, make you confused. Which way? This way. Pull you this way. This bill, this, that. And what comes with the kids, it's the same thing. He uses something you love, something you fear against you to making you think it's God and pretends to be him. And they're in the spirit realm fighting. So my thing is, Satan says, hell's underneath you. But God says the 10 heavens above you. So basically hell is above. And you got to be careful what you choose in the universe. Because you got to know who you're choosing. And it's a test. They only hide their face because they're not probably ready to reveal. Because they're trying to take care of some business. God's trying to destroy Satan, kill Satan, take back his home, get his people back, into believing that he's not what Satan, this ground, makes him out to be. This ground makes the universe out to be a liar. Is you put that in two codes. This ground is the manipulation of death, destruction, and oh no. I think when Satan wanted to be God, first he manipulated his creation into working, into building his kingdom over God's kingdom. And once he would get his full kingdom in manipulation and weakness, that's when he would devour. But God created us. We lived off his emotions. So what God's feeling, we're going to feel. We're going to feel God's anger, but ours is not like his. We're going to feel his pain. When he said you might not put no other guys before us, he was literally talking about the damn grounding yourself. Stop listening to what's destroying you. Stop listening to what's destroying you and working you like slaves, like crazy, and it's making you tired, and it's making you lose faith in God. That's why God put the beginning in the Adam and Eve. If you obey, you will become eternal again. So he's basically trying to refine us to all the way back to beginning the Eve. See, in the beginning, Satan tempted Eve and Adam into ending the beginning. But God is saying that the end is not yet, The end is just the beginning. So it's like a reverse. It's like a record. It's like a verse. God is trying to get it to go back the way he had it when he first created life in Adam and Eve. But also making sure while he's trying to refine his people, they don't die. God sent Jesus down because that's a younger version of Jesus. God, but that's his son. To let you know, this just came into mind. It was the whole time. Oh my God, it just got deeper in me. It's like I was really there before creation. It's like the image is there, but it's just deep. God is the king who saves. Satan is the king who destroys. God had few planets. They were destroyed. This earth, of all the times you heard in the Bible about the wars and stuff like that, Satan is making wars happen to destroy nations and kingdoms and lives and turn them against each other and manipulate them to work their ass off to death where they're tired and they can't understand fully anything, and making them think that God is not there, so their only way is to work and survive. And money is the key to your survival. So, my God, that is deep, bro. Satan went that far? Dang. I'm trying to figure out how to put this deep beginning before man existed. He said something about my story. And somehow I'm starting to see flashbacks and things. Even though I'm up. It's there, but it's not there. Just like when I pray for my son's return home, he's there, but he's not there. God brings me back to the past of what really happened and shows me because he knew I would do this. And Satan would fear the day of his judgment. Of the second coming. And the way he showed second coming was killing, destroying, and torturing his people. Literally. I'm not that judgment. I'm not the one, the bride. Listen, let's take it like this. The bride, she's not really a torturer. She's the bride of peace, love, and justice, and fights for the right of a good kingdom, and is the witness of Satan's guilty. Satan killed Jesus. And tried and showed it in the movie all those times when he was walking with God, because he knew that the desert would make him weak. And God showed his son, and it showed that Satan was trying to manipulate and make him think he can have this if he chooses him. It's about your choices. Pick a kingdom, universe or ground. Because if the lion and dragon are going to war, that spiritual warfare is going to lead to physical. And I'm going to tell you how that's happening, because that just came to mind. He attacks you in your dreams, not physically. I mean, yes, his spirit was released and he possessed a man's body. I saw it in the movies, but I also saw him in my dreams. He came out of his cave with a beast on the side in the woods. He is stupid as fuck. He is not scary as he claims to be, and big and bad as he claims. He is what I knew what he was all along. A lying, thieving, manipulating, cutting pussy who knew what he was doing, but when God tried to make peace and forgive him, he took advantage of a life and God's creation and tried to destroy what was going to help him waken his creation. Because whatever was going to help him waken his creation, those are the ones who are going to help him run the ground. And you will be exposed for who you truly are. Because if God gets his people to see who he really is, to really get to know him, he is a loving, gentle God. And yes, if you do choose to listen to your thoughts and stuff, you will get punished. Basically, he's not the one punishing you. If you guys are agreeing with the ground on how this is going to happen, you're basically helping the ground write your own ending, write your own death, believing the ground, following the rules, fearing what's going to happen if you don't listen, if you choose your own path. So it's like, if I'm going to use my baby father example. He gave me a choice. It's either him or the highway. And if I would choose the highway, which is my freedom and my safety, it's a bad thing. Because I want right. I want peace. But if I choose to serve him, that gives him the good thing to manipulate, control me, and deceive me. Think about how much of you males went through that kind of relationship with females. Think about how much of you females went through that kind of. Everything we go through is what God's going through, basically. The good ones get manipulated and deceived and framed to set up and use. Their energy gets drained. They get slandered. They get slaughtered if they don't listen. Those ones are the fallens. The good ones are the ones who rather see people better, rather help make it. And you know what's funny? With this war, the whole time we were in battle. But it's not the way we thought it would be. The way the ground made it out to be. The ground made it to be death, destruction, and destroy, and devour, and turn against each other. The universe made it out to be save, refine, so you don't gotta die, and come back to me. Because if you choose this kingdom, you will die with it. Basically, God's telling you he's created life, and stop following something that's destroying you. And it's not helping you. God is not the reason why. Satan is the punishment. God is the divine judgment and Savior. Because divine judgment, being creator, he has authority over everything, including Satan's life and ending and beginning and punishment. And the Savior, because he's a good king and he wants better for his people. And he's honest and open. But when he became honest and open, Satan used his creation to take advantage and use them. And you wonder why God told me he knows what it feels like to be manipulated, to have trust issues. You wonder why we're being tested by God. Because we help Satan hurt God, hurt us, to end us, to help end God. When really we could choose God and help end Satan. Remember, Satan is negative and makes you feel heavy in the souls and is the nightmare of why you can't sleep. God It's the peace-giving, loving God who makes your soul feel at ease and leads you into the right path by saving you from the left of his enemy who is jealous of his kingdom the whole time. The two kingdoms worked together, were once friends. I think that's how it really ends. Two kingdoms were together, once friends, but one kingdom killed the other kingdom, and the other kingdom was reborn. But their minds were deleted, but their souls knew. So if that's why Satan couldn't attack your mind, he would attack your soul. And he would manipulate people into doing sin and temptation, into doing his dirty work and into being him, so that his people can get destroyed with him. But God sees that his children were manipulated and they're innocent, and Satan is not. Goes to show, if you do join him though and become a part of that, and you feel good with it, he has to let you go. He has to sacrifice you. He gotta go. Bye. You're the past. He created you. He does not like ugly. He's not jealous of Satan. Sure as hell's not. I mean, he gave Satan the ground, being that Satan wanted his own throne. Wasn't satisfying enough. He gave you some people to lead, which was Adam and Eve. You took advantage of that. So Satan was being judged and tested, why he manipulated us to think we were under God's judgment. But we were being tested. It's really Satan who was under God's judgment. It's just those who choose the wrong path, it ends, and God don't want to see that. So basically, God's not writing your ending. Basically, you're helping the ground write your own ending and your own, listen, you're listening to something that's ending you. Yourself and the ground. When really, sky's the limit. It's the only saving place. I mean, Adam and Eve was probably not of earth. He knew. Seduced Eve. Seduced Adam. Tempted Adam. Satan's basically gay. Oh, if he tempted Eve and Adam into sin and sex, and he fucked man and female, then Satan's gay, and God is not. And God don't like him like that. So Satan got jealous and started manipulating and deceiving. Guess because he had a crush on God. And it was just not God's type of tea. God married somebody. She did God dirty, betrayed God, so God sent her to hell. That was Lilith. I guess that's how I heard the story. And he had a new wife. And he found somebody who suits him. So basically, we're living God's life. Until we wake up and find out that what the fuck we were following is trying to devour us and kill us and slave us into working. Because think about it, every time you make fucking money, you got to pay bills, it goes right back to him. Every time you make money, you pay for food, it goes right back to him. You're basically working for nothing. What you're working for is nothing. All you're getting out of it is drained, misery, manipulation, False promises. That's what the ground is doing. He's just tricking you to build his kingdom so he can take over God's life and destroy it. That sounds good. It's a good story. Over jealousy, because he's gay, because he likes both women and men. It's weird. Something about this. Their life affects ours. And God doesn't want that for us. But Satan does. The ground wants us to suffer. The universe doesn't. You can't see Satan. You can't see God. But it tells you God's spirit can enter a human. And you never know when you have actually bumped into God as a real being. Yeah. Satan is a spirit who consumed man's body and possessed it and used it until it was no longer good to him for destruction. Wow. Okay, I'm done posting for a minute. This story is too deep and too hard to explain. I'm going to tell you why. Let's just put it this way. The ground you're serving, you are the slave to, and you are helping write your own ending and judgment. And when you served it, it makes you lose the power and connection with God. And it's your distraction to destruction and weakness and fear and death. He's trying to end God's children and him out of jealousy because he thought it was just him and God. But he's mad because God is not what Satan expected. God's not gay, bro. It just shows what Satan did to these people. He's gay. He's a pedophile. He's manipulative. He's cunning. He's dirty. He's deceiving. He's a liar. And everything he says is a false fucking power he's imagining. But it sure as hell come to life because the people are serving the damn fucking ground that's trying to kill him. Yet, when there was the 10 Commandments and God told you, it's like they're speaking to you through these rules and messages and visions. Basically, they're conversating and they're trying to get you to pick a side. Pick a damn kingdom. Not just in physical and spiritual. Like, that shit is crazy. So Satan's trying to steal your heart and your life. Yeah. And if he can't have God, no one can. So it made it so easy for him to plant the forbidden tree. After God set the one rule, do not eat from this forbidden tree, there will be consequences. That's it. Just a strict rule. But Satan came up, don't listen to God. You can eat from the forbidden tree. But Eve said there would be consequences to it. He didn't tell you. If you eat off the forbidden tree, you would know. You would know what he knows. You would see what he sees. You would know good from evil. You would have your own choice. But he didn't tell the ground that they would die from his lie. That the ground would age. So basically try to destroy God's life. You watch those movies, Cain and Kim goes, they go against each other. The good kingdom always wins. God's trying to lead his people into safety, not into death and destruction. God is trying to lead his people to walk with him and trust him, even though because he's fighting that dumbass who don't know how to give up. And there, when he's already dealing with the battle of his own, y'all want this, y'all want that, y'all want this. But the way Satan sees when your blessing comes and God blesses you, he manipulates you with the blessings and say, do this, do that. Yeah, don't give it to them. They don't deserve it. They deserve to suffer. They may have did something wrong and God's judging them for it. Don't help this person. Be greedy. Enjoy your money. Where you can get your blessings taken away, when actually God is not taking it away. He gave it to you. Satan's taking it away. Basically, God's the savior and Satan's the punishment. In a way, whatever Satan did to himself, he's involving us in his shit. Because he fears God. And it's too late for him. Why his children were born innocent and manipulated into destruction and sin and death. God's not looking to end his children. He's looking to end Satan. With his children involved in this life without them trying to get hurt. So he's trying to make it where we can live while he's fighting our battles, trying to keep this dude away from us, basically. So he does not come down here physically. Because he's tempted. Because his manipulation and his shit is failing and he's getting more mad. So he doesn't give up. He doesn't listen. He keeps fighting God. Satan wants you to worship him. God wants you to worship. He doesn't want you to worship. He wants you to follow him. Satan wants applause. God don't want applause. He just wants your obedience. Satan hates. God forgives. Satan takes advantage. God saves. Satan lies. God is right and tells the truth. And the way I see it, this earth has two sides of kingdom right about now. You just take this earth globe right here and tip it in the middle and split it in half. One right side is the kingdom, and the other side is another kingdom. Two kingdoms and one earth. Basically, oh my God, this is crazy. The way I'm seeing it, listen, guys, I don't know what's going on. This shit is just hitting my head. Like, the earth was tilted and played with and manipulated and confused and in war since the beginning. When God created creation and before he created. That's why he had angels protect the earth before anything was created. Those angels, they were there before creation was made. My message is starting to come. Oh, God. All right. This ground is making me mental. And Satan's waking me up and making me not believe in it. So, yeah, Satan's waking me up and not making me believe in it. What he's doing to me, he did tell God in heaven, he said, I will make sure your children will look up to you. But I bet if they don't, I get your kingdom. And I get to take your place. But God was like, okay, let's do this. Let's see, let's test them. See what side they choose. So basically, The kingdom is different. It's the earth is like nation and kingdom. It's just like a globe that would have. I want to show you. Okay, for one, I'm not a big fan of doing this a lot, but okay, so here, for example, I will show you what I mean. This will be the last show because I'm done. I've been doing this for God knows how long. Okay? I don't give a fuck about it. Come on. Stand tall. Okay, so this right here, right? This is Earth, right? Think about it. But if you draw a line in the middle of the Earth, okay? And the Earth was like this. My right is God. And the left is Satan's kingdom. The right is God's kingdom. The left is Satan's kingdom. And the line in between the middle is like, that's the portal. But since the beginning, Satan was trying to take over the right side and the left side of God's life. Trying to hurt him and make him feel unworthy. You take that whole shit and it looks like God is sad right now because he's hurting. The earth is basically his head. You're playing with his head. You're helping Satan play with his head. That image is dope. That just came out of Sign and a Message. Basically, the left is manipulating his children to destroy the right and manipulate and control and sow confusion into the earth. So knowing that if what Satan does manipulates and shows confusion into the creation, once he sows, this is how the chain goes. Once, now Satan wants both kingdoms, actually, to be honest. He's getting greedy because God created him, was nice enough to give him a kingdom of his own and give him people to lead. God basically created his life, honestly. But then, before Adam and Eve was made, it was just God and Satan. I guess Satan might have been gay. God was not interested in him in the way it was. Like, I don't know. I don't care. But what Satan did started with the first creation of tempting the brain of Adam and Eve. So he hits the brain. And knowing that Adam and Eve was made by him off of his life, their brain is basically connected to God. So Satan manipulates creation, manipulates God. Satan scares creation, tries to scare God. Satan lies to God. Satan fears God because he's right and will always be right. Right about what his judgment is. Because God is not furious with us. He's furious with Satan. And the ground's trying to make us think that God is going to hurt us and end us. Crazy. The world was once two kingdoms in one, turned upside down and manipulated, and was in war since then. Because God created life, and, since he was created into life, that creation tried to take over what the creator did. So it's like a scientist who creates a robot, like I said. He experiments, he tests to see, but then something's going on, but then he tries to fix it, but then something's going on again, and it's just destroying shit. It's just blowing up, it's doing that. And you feel the heat, and you feel the pain, and you go through it, and it hits you. Because it's all over the place. Now you picture that fucked up robot that God created is Satan, who's not functioning well, and who is very not right in the brain, because he's jealous of his kingdom, his creation, his dream. They used to be friends, but Satan did something. I think Lilith might have been Satan's girl, maybe. And no. Lilith might have been God's girl. Wait. It's kind of confusing. Something with their relationship. They were once friends. Let's cut it short. God and this God, which was two different kingdoms, they bonded. But then something was born into the world. And the other one was envious, because really, that God, before his creation, only wanted him. But when God showed love and gave his heart to something else, got mad about it. And just started tempting and manipulating and destroying it. So basically the ground is your doom. And the ground is your pit, actually. Let's just say this. The ground is your pit. The ground is your devourer. The ground is the mouth of hell. The ground is the kingdom that sows discord and fear and misleads and to temptation and slavery and to drain and to turn against, to help him turn against and accuse God that he's the reason why they're suffering, when it's really the ground who is accusing God for the ground's actions. The ground is the reason why people are suffering. The ground is the reason why people are confused. The ground is where Satan started, and he wanted to end it. But God wanted to take that in and bring it back to the beginning, because that was his dream. So basically, God's fighting for his, why Satan's trying to end it and lie and accuse God. Satan is guilty and God is innocent. God is innocent. Satan, you will be punished. And I agree, you will die. And the way God feels about me being manipulated into temptation and sin, how do you think I feel about you hurting him and his people? Well, you knew what I was, huh? Well, guess what? It's too late for you now. Because your kingdom is under judgment by divine that you thought you could destroy your own creator. And now that you fear, because it's you who is facing death, not his people. You made them think this is the kind of judgment. You helped them create their death and manipulate them into their own death. And you sewed them with webs of lies and accused God for what you did to him out of jealousy and envy and lust. And when it goes to show that your actions manipulated Adam and Eve, you tempted Adam, which tempted Eve, but then you became turning men gay. You wanted to make God to be those things when really you're gay, you're dirty, you're a lying, deceiving, cunty ass, lying, manipulating thief. And the way I had my life stolen is the way you're doing it to him. And the way I found out the truth, and I'm giving the truth out, you get more madder because you don't want him giving the truth. You don't want his children waking up to the truth. Is that it? Because you fear if his children wake up to the truth and the one that can get them there, they will turn against the ground and you will finally be defeated. I'm praying for that. I'm praying they see him. I'm praying they see God and his ways. I'm praying they walk and obey. I'm praying they follow the right side, not the fucking ground, who's the left side. The left lying fucking side manipulated the right one that is not to be reckoned with. Should have never took your creator for granted, Satan. But his people do not deserve your punishment and your pain and all your sin over envy and jealousy. I'm going to tell this whole media, and I pray this goes around the whole world, and I pray God blesses this channel. The ground is your death, destruction, and manipulation, and is the one who is using you into slavery and testing you like guinea pigs and wearing you out and stealing your life. The universe is actually trying to save you. The one who actually created you. The one who wants you not dead, wants you to live in peace and harmony, wants you to be with him, wants you to get to know him, wants you to trust him, and wants to trust you. But see, Satan knew you would get blessed, so he manipulated your nice little fried brains to take the blessings another way. So that way, he will make you think God's taken it away, but it's really him. So Satan manipulates God's creation since the beginning, before creation, they was in war. But then they tried. Because the earth was dark. It was destroyed once. That's how I'm seeing it. Take it back to reincarnation. The earth was destroyed 2 times. But for the 3rd time, the 3rd earth was saved. So, this is not our first time on earth, buddy. Do you know you guys are literally the Bible? You're reliving everything. But at the same time, you don't remember who you are. So, like, let's use the earth, for example. The earth is nice and green and moist. If it's not watered, if it's mistreated, it goes out. One king wants to rule for great and goodness and peace. The other one wants to rule for destruction. And when the first round, the bad, evil king had that, he ended God's life in the beginning. And he tried it again. But God was just being reincarnated. So basically they're saying, he can't kill God. You can't. There's no way. Every time you try, he coming back for you. 10 times worse. And you're going to fear him. I created you, bitch. Who are you trying to play? And you take my niceness for weakness, and you're manipulating innocents and thousands to turn against me and each other and to destroy each other and kill each other and kill me and make me out to be the bad guy while you make them out to be the bad guy, while you make them work, which is something I don't want them to do. I want them to count on me. Don't do shit. Let me handle it. Let me help you. Let me help you build this. You ain't got to put nothing in it because we are not as strong as him. We were his creation. We were supposed to bring peace, but God gave Satan a chance and he burned 3 chances. The 3rd chance, he fucked up. Big time. And every time he fucked up, he even pissed God off. Because every time he thought he had him, oh, look, I got God. Came right back. Shows that even when God's being destroyed, he's stronger than ever. Same, bro. You knew your judgment. And you knew it. I want this whole media, and I pray to God it gets views. I pray everybody watches. Listen. If you have the new translation, look in the beginning, gives you a choice to either choose the ground or the universe. If you go look at the 10 Commandments, it puts it into one message. God's telling you, don't put yourself before me and another person because they'll mislead you and make you think poorly that I'm the bad guy because they're jealous of y'all and what I created because he thought he was the only one. Caught an eye of God's throne and wanted it so bad, tried to take it and it didn't work. If it didn't work in heaven, you try to attack his creation. You attacked his creation. The first earth, we died. The second, that rebirth was resurrection. But our memories, they were manipulated and deceived by one cunning, envious person who is now, we call Satan, who was first there. So I'm seeing it. We're alive and we're manipulated into something, into believing it, while he's stealing our life force when we were actually really eternal, and make us believe we're unworthy. We're not strong. Believing in war, making things about war. Playing with people's minds and making them think badly about somebody else, even though it's not true. Yeah, so if he can't attack you physically, he's going to attack you spiritually. And if he gets to you spiritually and he finally gets to enough souls, it gives him a chance to take over physically. But if he loses, he dies. It's just I feel like this is already going to be a headache trying to waste my breath for God in this message. This is definitely a deep story to explain on God's life. Satan wants to make his people suffer. I don't know. Because he couldn't have God's throne. He couldn't be what God was. You had to earn it. You were supposed to be his son. Bro. You gotta realize, bad kids, they get disciplined. Good kids, they get rewarded. You're supposed to honor God. That's your father, stupid. Your father is not the reason why you went jealous and greedy. And when you found out you had a brother who was good, after the father saw what, and before he created you, he already knew what you were going to do. But while you guys were going through spiritual warfare, Satan wanted you to think that this physical life was ending. And if we were to believe the earthquakes and tornadoes and things because he wanted to be God, it's so negative. Satan is the end. God is the beginning. So if you follow the ground, basically tells you it's ending your life. But if you follow the universe, at your beginning to a new life. Because the ground that's going to end your life takes away the gifts that were given out of jealousy and hate. All right, done with the message today. Satan, I pray you never existed, and I pray God fucking kills you and shows you no mercy for trying to kill him and his creation 3 times. When he showed you, he's the reason why you live in. You can't kill God, but God can kill you. You want him to fear you? So you would take the things he loves and uses against him and manipulate it and lie and make him out to be the bad guy. When he sits on the throne, then he has a son. Then you're jealous of that sibling. You see that sibling's doing right by God, Now you see that sibling's getting off for the throne. Now you get extra mad. Oh, he got that. You give me that, and I'm gonna do that. Bruh, grow the fuck up. Can't beat God. Period. Pooh. Your death is due soon. Not in physical, spiritually. So basically, he's trying to kill you spiritually to save the physical, to save nation and his kingdom. He had enough of you, bitch. You're the one under judgment and punishment and death. We're not. So God tells you stop fearing the ground that's making you think this way. When I'm trying to tell you the truth, it's not going to happen. Period, because I'm not letting it. I love my children way too much to make you think, to let them think poorly about me. And one day, I believe I'm going to show them the truth. I'm sending my army along to do why I helped do this part and plan this shit out. Yes, they may struggle, but I will not be the reason why. You know why God's not the reason why? Because if he doesn't want to see us struggling, he wants to save us, then he's not the bad guy. But if you feel like you know when you go through manipulation and something you love is being used against you, like, for example, my child that I love is being used against me, because every time these people try to manipulate me and control me, it doesn't work, they get mad about it. Because they don't want the truth to be exposed. So they keep going, It's like Satan. They keep going. They just don't get the fuck up. They don't know when they're already lost. And when they finally hit it, they fear. That's just like comparing our lives to God right now. What God's going through is what we're going through. And it's not by God, it's by the same thing that tempted Adam and Eve and went against God and sinned and is going against God in his creation and pretending to play innocent. When all you do is threaten and lie and deceive, and your promises are false. We were eternal. We never died. He just got you to believe in that shit because that's him. He's gonna die by God's hands. It's like, oh, now you're making my children think they're gonna, okay. So this is what you're doing. You're taking your punishment and making them think it's theirs if they don't listen. You're gonna take your fear against me and rub it off on them to make them fear me. You take your wrath, rub it on me to make me looking like I'm gonna do something if they don't fucking listen. Nah, bitch, I'm a loving God. It's you who goes against my word. It's you who betray me over greed and lust. It is you who are supposed to honor me as a father who created you, who took care of you and raised you. And Lilith, I don't know. I feel like that story is true. It just shows to go that there's bad bitches and good bitches. Lilith was the bad bitch. And to be honest, I believe Satan was her son. And Lilith started helping manipulate God's people into controlling them and making them think otherwise and helping them create death on our lives and God's life. So basically, Satan's using God's life and creation to manipulate each other and go to war with each other and kill each other to kill God. Turning against God. Knowing it, if you take something that somebody loves and use it against them, it will hurt them, yes. But it doesn't mean they would fight for what's right. When they know they're more capable and stronger than you. It's like an elevator. When you press too many buttons, it pisses her off and she starts freezing. Then she gets this anger, like, I'm gonna fucking kill you now. Like, you make me out to be these things. It's not my children who are gonna die. It's you. It's you. Stop making them think that I'm gonna kill my own. Nah, I'm gonna save them. I'm gonna bring them back to eternal into the future with me. Save them. Get them to see the truth so they can live in peace with me and get away from this douche who's sowing anxiety and destruction and death and warfare into his people's heads, and manipulation, which is temptation. So yeah, basically, if you guys think about it, God does not want you following the ground. It's bad for you. Father knows what's best, especially if he created you. Think about that twice before you talk. Have a good day.